Please excuse my radiator clicking at the moment. The heating's just come on. So yeah, I've been having a rummage through these Trash Bash prize bits. So here we go with the figures, the white metal figures, like this. And we've got 10 of them, all right, all in various poses, like so. Beautifully cast, really, really crisp detail. So we have them, all these things in the two bags. I've realised the whole Bullfrog hardtop with Aquarius half track is actually what it is. And I managed to find on the internet, there's what it can look like, because you can make it in a combination of different ways, right? You can have it half open, you can have it enclosed, you've got different weapon options, you've got different turret options. The only thing that's basic is the half track side of it, which is here. So there's one half, that bit goes in there. Ooh, that wheel goes in there, right? And that's the front, very APC looking front, just there, right? And what I've decided to do, I'm not going to go open like a troop carrier type. I'm going to have it enclosed. That's going to be the top. That's where I'm going to have a turret. There's all variety of different weapons that to choose from, all right? And because this is looking very APC, and because these are looking a bit Colonial Marine-y, sort of, at least in poses, what I'm going to do is I've decided I'm going to make a diorama using these pieces. Well, there's one of the hatches I could use, using some of these cast things that Brian, the guy who does Trash Bash, actually cast these himself. Use a load of those. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do sort of like a nod to in Aliens, when the APC has arrived outside Hadley's Hope and the Colonial Marines come out and they're forming up and they're going to the door, because you've got like, look, you've got like a sergeant here, you see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do like not a recreation, but in the spirit of Aliens, Colonial Marines arriving at Hadley's Hope, using these things, using household junk to build the little diorama, all right? And I'm going to have these forming up and moving towards a door. But big difference, in Aliens, everything's olive, drab and brown, etc., etc. These guys here are just screaming 1970s science fiction artwork, right? So I'm not going in those colours. These are going to be really quite bright and vibrant in funky 70s colours. This armoured vehicle is going to be bright. The building is going to be bright. So it's going to be like a 70s version of the Colonial Marines arriving at Hadley's Hope. So yeah, stay tuned for the next part. All right, well, I've managed to work out what goes where on the armoured vehicle. Really impressed with that. The different options that you have for weapons, the fact that if you've got it as a troop carrier, the back hatch comes open and it's held in place by a couple of little magnets. Very impressive, but I've gone as self-enclosed. And as I said in the first video, the front of it, this window with a weapon alongside, screams APC from Aliens to me, right? This bit doesn't. This is more regular, you know, Forge World or Games Workshop with all the rivets and the World War II style tracks and stuff. But the front is definitely saying Aliens to me. And the pose of some of these soldiers is reminding me an awful lot, as I said, of the Colonial Marines moving into Hadley's Hope. And as I said in the last video, that's what I'm going to do. So this is roughly how it's going to be. They've come out, maybe, like running behind. They formed up. This detergent container is going to be the hatch that they are all focusing on, right? And I'm going to make a street scene. And because, you know, these were kindly donated by Trash Bash. I'm going to be using trash, so I've got an old grill off something there. I've got the back out of a speaker or something like that, but I'm going to be putting things. I'm going to make a wall here. I'm going to make it like a little street scene, and this is at the end of the street. The hatch is at the end of the street. All right, but as I said before, these guys are so science fiction-y, so 70s science fiction-y, that I'm doing them in 70s science fiction-y colours. These guys I think are going to be green, but not a camo green, you know, like a scorpion green, a bright green, and I'm thinking maybe yellow for their helmets. I'm in an R about the colour of the tank and the colour of the scene, but I'll come back to that with what I've decided once I've primed everything. So that's the tank painted and the troops painted, and this is just a foam board and cardboard mock-up of the street and where the door is going to be for them just about to go in. All right, sort of like that. There we go, coming together now. Got to put some more little details on this bulkhead thing here. This looks, I think that was going to be a street light or something. I was going to light it up, but I'm not going to do it now. There's the positions for all the troops that I've numbered. I've got to cut a slot in each space before I prime things up. That's the hole for the door. Oh, straws either side. That's the hole for the hatch and the doorway, and that's the doorway. I've just blue tacked the door in. I've got to prime that in grey and take that out and then spray it in white and put decals on, things like that, and then that will be going in there like that. So it's getting big now. I'll come back when I've got paint on everything. Right, nearly ready for primer for the street bit. Here I've started on this. Got to put a bit more rusty and bits in and washes and stuff like that on there. And then on the back, that's the door, which I've got to finish off as well. All right, so next step, spray all this grey, and then I've decided on a mid-grey for the walls. All right, so I'll come back when I've done that. Here she is, base coated in a Humbrol mid-grey. So next is to do something about this area. The reason there's no greeblies or anything on there is I want a big 70s, I think it's called Eurostyle, the font, a big number on that wall to say that this is some sort of like, you know, docking bay or loading bay. All right, so I'm just gonna look in Word, find, I'm sure my computer's got Euro style, find a number, print it out, cut it out, use it as a stencil, and I'm going to have a big white number just there. Then I can start weathering all this, and then after I've done that, I can glue the soldiers in place, and then I can start putting some gravel and sand and rocks and stuff.